We Santo, Man Kolnyang, Mike, Sholgrangawan, Yuping Yarul, Pandit Shet Maniel, Anaketon Niel, Jilo, Winetonadol. I think a kick, Gabuka, Devo, Anyalia, dear Kuika, Pingrin, Gemana, yet when I jang along, I say to Kagaparami, Madina Maja, Kubo, Makur, Kagaboli, again, Kuaita Tiam, Wagari, Kegala, Emmanuel, whenever you go, I think a kick, Gabuka.
Hello guys, share the video, please share. Share, please share. Thank you, welcome.
Call you pon the lawyer. You might tell you a good meat to meet one. Could I go a boy low up and then Kayoga? I lay your train is young as you are the watching money melody. Money, you're going to buy in good, and let on the banana. Hey, you pay a matona road, Jemana to the lake, joy, be tired. Punya you to jogging by the pandemic, which in our dam, I may little shred. Jalakabi, good educate, get willing banan. Good old boy, low up and Kayoga, I lay your train is young as you are the watching money melody. Money, you're going to buy in good, yet let on the banana. Punya you to jogging by the pandemic, which in our dam, I my little shred. Jalakabi, good educate, get willing banana. I got yellow gully, I got Tom, by you, I got Washington, and name a ton, I love you, Yelagay, Matona, I got Yelagay, I got Yelagay, I got Kajago, and name a ton, I love you, Yelagay, Matona, somewhat launching. I lay your train is young as you are the watching money melody. Money, you're going to buy in good, and let on the banana. Hey, you pay a matona road, Jemana to the lake, joy, be tired calling to buy pink. Watch your punya you to jogging by the
Okay, welcome everybody. Welcome to the show. My name is Abraham Majak. Thank you for tuning in. For those of you who come in on Facebook Live and YouTube, and also for some of you who are listening in Clubhouse. For those of you, please share the video. Before I dive into my topic, first things I would like to send my heartfelt condolences to the family of late General Daniel Ayuela McCoy. He passed away last week, and he was laid rest today in Yorul State. Before I switch to English, so let me say a few words in Dinka language so that my message can go to the family of late General Ayuela McCoy and the rest of family and the community of Yorul. And the people of South Sudan as well. And keep po diao, one of the apo, and dinner po dia to ye we pan late ban ayol makoy, jayin yin jal, ku jal ken yin jal, dinner po dia redo wani ku ayal kiloy, general ayal kiloy, haraka chap ye during the as PLA time, the Banloy, kuma Junub, Tarka kuma Jalap to Northern Sudan. So he's one of the Kudangaran when he contribute to our struggling armed struggle. He's one of those generals that contribute. Koka Yerul, particular Yerul East, Chen Manuel, Waki Ben Ramuril, Q Plus. What you think, quite one is when I get one by one. Woka Yerul Muslim, who are losing a lot of important people in our community. And it's really sad that to see them. They are going, leaving us very soon. It's so soon for them to leave. And nobody will fill up their shoes. Kiran when ni keni kiga nyang pe aya yu ko kiran be ko la body tar. Kan ke wan aka ko when o ko nyin ta sin for new generation man for the al ko yiru. I appreciate ke, I appreciate your ma ko. I appreciate ke. So message we black quite family you are McCoy or Abia Pokoe. You are Kuopo that you are Akito. He's one of the heroes. I keep in I keep by baby. His colleague. Bunang and Lamel College Jarnial, Kimin Chuga Lam King, Kaja Kochian, Lamajunu Sudan, a kite side by side Kalam America. And your McCoy is one of those people who contribute on that. So, who Kimino Kolachi, Kimure late rest, joy, his soul rests in peace, and his legacy will live on. As you always say, that the hero never die. He's one of those heroes. Kawe pana yol makoy you be the ready back. Legacy, would one would be that you have back carrying on. You know, keep quite though, and on family. We quite when you back background. I will makoy who's I will makoy. Family you are like biography there. Keep a bit to post on links media page, so you guys can go and read. It's a very long. That's how you guys can see who's your makoy is. Much Lord. Kibai Lord. Time the kitok. So the neck when kidong. We just next generation. We just pick it up where he left it off. Here it's Lord. So for the said, so today Akal, there's a barriers that are going on. So let me play a little bit video from SSP TV, covered the barriers of late General Ayual. And then before I will go. So again, my heartfelt condolences to the family of Ayual and the entire community. So be strong, the family, what they are but would want this time is a time for celebration of his life. It's not the time for mooning. It's a time for celebration. Celebrate his life, this achievement. What did he left behind? That is a message that I want to send to the family of Ayual and the entire line of Ayual Marcot.
The body of late Lieutenant General Daniel Ayual McCoy finally arrived home for the final rest. From the airport to his house in Miro Town, the air was stalled by his arrival as mourners sank into deep sorrow. The late general is known for his sacrifice during the liberation struggle that today is eulogized by many as a heroic move. Honorable Manyang Luke is the commissioner of Iror East County, the birthplace of the late general.
1983, he was a head teacher of Panakar Secondary School. He went to the bush with the school children of Panakar Secondary School, including the current governor, General Rintoy Mabordeng. He went to Bilpam and he fought along in the bush. During the process, he was a commissioner of Greater Europe. He served for a long time as a commissioner. After, he went to Khartoum as an MP.
As the guns salute rang over the designated burial spot of the late general, it will be the last time many will be seeing his remains, but not the last time they will see his sacrifice that will be told to the next leadership and generation. According to the state governor's press secretary Mabordeng, the late general is a hero to the lives of many in the state.
Daniel Ayual was a liberator. He was a father. He is also a teacher. He's a grandfather. He's a true son of this county, Yerul back in the days, which is now divided into three to form Greater Yerul. Greater Yerul, Lake State and South Sudan have indeed lost a great man.
As the first commander of the SPLA commandos, forging the paths of freedom, the late general is a decorated soldier believed to have pursued peace and justice for his people, serving as a committed leader from being a teacher to a soldier whose journey of bravery contributed to South Sudan's independence.
We are mourning, but we can say nothing. God give and take. He's our hero, and the hero never dies.
There you go. Yes, absolutely, I agree with you, Commissioner. Hero never die. May his soul rest in peace. My next topic, regarding the topic of today, you all know about what's going on. For the last few days, America government has suspended or revoked all the South Sudanese visas. And this is affected to all citizens. How that began, what happened at the time. So where did it start and what's the root cause of this? That's why some of you, I would like to update everybody. So what happened? And let us walk you through how the American government took this decision and what the reason. That's a man behind this. This will just come out from blue. That is a reason why. So and that reason is that let me pull up one of the on 2 days ago, United States Secretary Marco Rubio put out the post, said that the American take the action. So by provoke, here's what he said that I am taking this action to provoke all these visas held by South Sudanese passport holders and to restrict any further insurance to prevent entry into the United States effective immediately due to the failure of South Sudan transition government to accept the return of its repatriated citizen in timely manner. Why? So there is a reason behind this, Junubin. You have seen there's a guy behind this. One of the guys called, this is the guy here. Let me pull his picture up. Where it's all begin. This is the guy here. His name is Ketiwo Manuan. He's a Congolese citizen. Okay. This person, he came to the United States illegally. Okay. In way back 2006. So 2016, I mean. And he got into the problem with the law here in the US. And then he got locked up in America when the Trump administration. This is what I want to speak to Genovese, to South Sudanese, why this is taking, why the United States government take this decision. The President Trump, okay, when he ran for the presidency, he's running, his main agenda is about migration. So he was campaigning that he will, what if American people elect him to be a president, he will deport all the illegal migrants back to their country where they came from. And this is what he's doing. For the day one that he took his office, because the president had 100 days, and those 100 days he had to take executive action to those agenda that he's working on. And what President Trump did is he vetoed all the law that the previous president, Joe Biden, did, and he provoked those regarding about the TLC, which is, let me put this one up, regarding about TLC, TPS. What that TPS means is called temporary protected stage, okay, to stay in the United States. Some of South Sudanese are under that, who hold South Sudanese passport. So, and this TPS will expire May 3rd, which is next month. Okay. So according to this, he said that the decision to provoke the visas for South Sudanese nationals directly contradict the temporary protected state, TPS, that United States had previously pledged to provide those individuals due to the security conditions in their country. This move marked a promoted abandonment of humanitarian principles that have long set the United States apart from others. So now, so that is the TPS. So those people who have a South Sudanese passport and they are protected under the TPS because South Sudan is in war, okay, and these people are here in the United States holding they are protected, say that our country is having a war. It's not safe for me to return back to South Sudan right now. That law called TPS is protect those people. So every year they have to renew it. So when administration of President Biden ended in January this year, and then President Trump took over office, the global office, White House. So his focus is about the migration law. Okay, there is millions of people, illegal migrants here in the United States. It's not only South Sudan. South Sudan is across all the country have illegal migrants. They have to deport them back. So that's what it happened. So what happened now? So according to Secretary of State Morubio, he said that all of those people who about having a visas to about enter to United States are blocked. So as we speak, anybody who are on the way to come to US and you are holding South Sudanese passport, you are no longer to come to US. That's sad. That's the sad part of it. Okay, and I hope both country, South Sudan government and United States government will look and work to solve this crisis. Now, listen to this. So, here is what the Republic of South Sudan released the update. Said here on the 8th today, April 8 today. Here's what they said: that the government of South Sudan, through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation and Department of Migration, remain steadfast in working amicably to solve the matter related to the deportation of Mr. Kitwata. This is the guy right here. This is the guy. This is the reason. This is the guy right here. You know, being caused you all of this mess, past place. So this guy, he's a Congolese nationalist. So last week, what happened? Okay, let me read this one, and I will web you. This is what happened here. Okay, listen to this. This is what the government of South Sudan released today. It said that Mr. related to the deportation of Mr. Kitwa Makelo, a Congolese nationalist, also known as Nimir Grant. Now, you see, he's another name. He have a two name, fake name and his original name. So his original name is either a Kitwa Manuel. Okay, and he's Sudanese. He's fake South Sudanese name, who is used that name that he came to United States with it. It's called Nimir Grant. Okay, that is a fake name that he came to United States, and that name is what he had on his document. Okay, his document, whether he having a green card or whatever he have. So the name that he have in the United States record is Nimir Garan. Okay, it's not Makitwa, Manila. So what happened? So let me continue reading this. So which regrettably result in the refusal of South Sudanese migration officials to grant the deportee administration defy the agreement of the government of South Sudan through in its embassy in Washington, D.C., which issue the emergency travel document. Let me pause that for a second. Okay. This guy, I don't know how he make out. He went to D.C., South Sudan embassy in D.C., got him emergency passport, a migration travel document to go to South Sudan, right? So why is it, my question is here, this question is going to the government of South Sudan and the embassy of DC, South Sudan embassy in DC. How can you embassy, so you embassy in DC, need to answer this question. How did this guy make it to your office and you didn't detect him that he's not a South Sudanese? And he give you guys a fake name called Nimeri Garan. Why did you embassy in Washington D.C. why you didn't detect this name before he been arrived in Juba airport? Okay, what is going on here? Why you guys didn't do until the people in Juba, migration in Juba, detected it? You see all of this mess? Okay, let me continue. After learning about the situation, the leadership fully support the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation in its effort to resolve the current situation between the two countries. It stands ready to assist in any capability necessary to ensure the restoration of the diplomacy relation, and more importantly, to facilitate the safe and dignified return of all deported citizens. This including provide support to ensuring the safety and welfare of the people affected. Now, I heard that there were 23 South Sudanese, and 2 of these 23 are non-South Sudanese, including this dude. This dude right here. He's the mother of all of this mess. So So another guy is in the Sudan naturalist. So natural. So this guy from Congo, another one from Northern Sudan. So those two are non-South Sudanese citizens, and 21 others are South Sudanese. So and they make it that they don't have problem those people that they deported back. But the problem here, what the reason make United States that take that, because that would make Secretary of State Marco Rubio better access and make that decision because of this guy right here. Because this guy was taken to Juba on the 5th. Let me read this. Let me go ahead. Read this more. South Sudan is government regret incident respectfully urge the United States government to provoke its recent decision to cancel all business issues to South Sudanese passport holders. This sweeping measure has caused paramount concern and hardship among the innocent South Sudanese citizens who have abided by international norms and respect U.S. Migration law. The leadership under His Excellency President Salva Kiir Mayardit recognize the graves of this situation and affirm their unwavering commitment to engaging constructively with the United States in the spirit of democracy, mutual respect to repair and strengthen the bipartisan relationship for the benefit of both nations and their people. So that is the response to South Sudan government. So now, here, the people who are caught on this mess are the citizen, is the people of South Sudan, are a victim here. Okay. So in the beginning, before all of this mess, this guy here make his way, okay, to DC, Washington DC. They grant him his emergency travel document to Juba. So he was deported last week to Juba when the migration, South Sudan migration law, find out this is not South Sudan, they return him back to US. This is where Secretary of State Marco Rubio got upset. And then he provoked all South Sudanese US visas. So listen to, let me play this video and you guys listen to the rest.
The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation of the Republic of South Sudan wishes to address the recent situation regarding a United States deportee who was not permitted entry at Juba International Airport on April 5th and April 6th of 2025. Upon arrival, it was determined that the individual who presented a South Sudanese travel document under the name Nimeri Garang is not Nimeri Garang. Comprehensive verification processes confirmed that this individual is a national of the Democratic Republic of Congo named Makula Kintu. In accordance with our immigration protocols, he was not admitted and was subsequently returned to the sending country for further processing. The government of South Sudan has noted the United States announcement on April 5th, 2025, regarding the immediate revocation of visas for South Sudanese passport holders. This decision was made as a consequence of what was described as the failure of South Sudan's transitional government to accept the return of its repatriated citizens in a timely manner. We would like to clarify that the government of South Sudan has consistently maintained open communication and cooperation with U.S. authorities regarding immigration and deportation matters. The government welcomes all its citizens, whether they are returning voluntarily or through deportation processes. Records available to both governments clearly indicate that Mr. Makula Kintu is a citizen of the Democratic Republic of Congo, not South Sudan. According to information provided by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, Mr. Kintu entered the United States on August 21st, 2003, and voluntarily departed for the Democratic Republic of Congo in 2009 under file number A098150-764. He re-entered the United States illegally on July 10, 2016. During his immigration interview at Juba International Airport, Mr. Kintu's statements further substantiated that he is not a citizen of South Sudan. He stated that he hails from the Emma tribe of the Northern Kivu province in the Democratic Republic of Congo, and added that he was brought to South Sudan against his will. Relevant video evidence of these proceedings has been shared with the U.S. Ambassador in Juba and the Department of State in Washington, D.C. Communications from the State Department through our embassy in Washington, D.C. regarding the deportation of Nimeri Garang, for whom the travel document was issued, indicate that he is scheduled to arrive in Juba on May 13, 2025, via Egypt Air. Our competent authorities are therefore awaiting his arrival. The government of South Sudan expresses regret for the circumstances that led to this situation. However, it is imperative to highlight that South Sudan has consistently demonstrated goodwill and cooperation with the United States on immigration and deportation issues. In this context, the South Sudanese Embassy in Washington, D.C. has issued emergency travel documents for 21 out of 23 individuals identified by U.S. authorities, with some successfully repatriated and admitted into South Sudan without issue. Of the 2 individuals confirmed as non-South Sudanese nationals, one is a Congolese citizen, namely Mr. Makula Kintu, and the other is a Sudanese national. The government deeply regrets that despite this history of collaboration and partnership, South Sudan now faces a broad revocation of visas based on an isolated incident involving misrepresentation by an individual who is not a South Sudanese national. South Sudan reaffirms its commitment to engaging constructively with the United States to ensure the proper verification and acceptance of bona fide South Sudanese nationals consistent with international standards and practices. South Sudan values its strong partnership with the United States and appreciates the significant contributions made by the American government and people, as well as the South Sudanese community residing in the U.S. The government remains steadfast in its commitment to resolving this matter through constructive dialogue and collaboration. The Republic of South Sudan looks forward to working closely with U.S. authorities to address this issue promptly, fairly, and in a manner that is mutually beneficial. End of statement.
Okay. Now you hear from, so now that is the latest, the try to fix and solve these issues. Let us hear from Mr. Makula Kintu from himself. When he was deported to South Sudan on that April 6 last week. Okay. So let us listen to his what he was saying from Mr. Kintu.
All right. All right. I want to start recording. You tell me your name and where you come from, okay? Then I'll ask you other questions. All right. Tell me your name. What is your exact name?
Thank you, sir. My name
This
is
the time last
Makula
week you
Kintu.
arrived in Juba Airport.
By nationality and citizenship of Congo DRC. My tribe is Hema, North Kivu province.
Yes.
And I am born on April 2nd, 1977.
So how did you end up to come in South Sudan?
I came to South Sudan, one, because I was deported against my will. Two, there was allegation that I'm being extradited by government of South Sudan because my parents choose me for disappearing from family. My parents are South Sudan, but I don't know how they look like. I was born in the Congo as orphan. I did not see them. And then missionaries who raised me told me my parents come from Sudan. So 1.5 months ago, they came to America looking for me, and they were living at a missionary station, but I was not allowed to meet them, to talk to them. The missionary said he's mediating between me and my parents, and they demanded for me to cooperate.
So you are telling me your name is not Nimeri Garang, right?
No, my name is not Nimeri Garang.
Copy that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now you guys hear what he say. You heard what he say here. So his name is not Nimeri Garan. So his real name is Makito Manuel Mokito, something like that. So that's his name. So this guy right here is playing a game here between South Sudan and the United States. So he lied to the United States that his name is Nimeri Garan. And when he arrived in Juba last week on the 6th, so he said that, no, my name is not, my name is not Nimeri Garan. My name is Manuel Makito. I'm from Congolese. And the United States government deported me here against my will. So I want to go back to US. I'm not a South Sudanese nationalist. Okay. While he was in the United States and he had all the documents, what the American government is working on is that what he have, his name that he have on his document. Okay. That's what is happening here. The name that he have in his document in the United States is Nimeri Garan. And he told the US government that he is from South Sudanese. He's a South Sudanese. He didn't mention to the government of the United States that he is a Congolese nationalist. Okay? He's a South Sudanese. That's why the American government deported him to Juba. Okay? So when he arrived there, he said, oh, no, I'm not a South Sudanese. That's where all this mess coming in. And this mess is supposed to be cleaned up in Washington, D.C. before he been put in his plane to Juba or to South Sudan. The D.C., Sultan, your question now is coming to my response. Okay? The person here to be blamed for all this mess is Washington, D.C. Embassy, South Sudan Embassy in D.C. They are the one who caused all of this mess. They support, when they do screening for these 23 deportees, they support the text his name, this guy right here. Okay. So if he's a Congolese, why did he deport to Congo? Okay. So when they do screening here, you see there's no any problem with other Sudanese nationalities. When they find out this is not South Sudanese, he's a Sudanese, and that he was not deported to South Sudan. When they do screening before they put in the to the plane to Juba. So all of this men is start in embassy in Washington D.C., South Sudan embassy in D.C. These are the people who made a mess in the first place, and who are victim here with the citizen of South Sudan. We are caught of all this mess. This innocent citizen, and this is where I disagree with Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Why is it you take your anger against our innocent citizen? So you should not provoke the business for the citizen. Okay, America is well known that I stand with the people of South Sudan. You should do the same thing. Okay, you should do the same thing. America has been, without America, South Sudan will not be born. the new nation. So you should, Secretary of State, you should make that decision wisely instead of do punishment. You punish the citizen of South Sudan. You think that you are punishing the government of South Sudan? No, you are not punishing the government of South Sudan. You are punishing the citizen of South Sudan. People that will want to come to U.S., but you punish that for both all the citizens or all the other people who are stay here, whether they are here because my state that I heard today that there are some of the people are deported. They have this document, protected document. So, and now they are deported back. Some of them, they come here for study. Now they are no longer to be here to study in that. And also we have some of the people that who are at NBA. They are now affected of all of this. So my next video, here is the video. So what is the way forward, Junubin? So the government of South Sudan tried to clean this mess up. Okay, they tried to clean up the mess. So listen to more. So today,
regarding a United States, the Ministry of Foreign.
So today, let me see. This is the video that I already.
From the.
So today, they here is another Ministry of Foreign Affairs released this press release today. Okay, they say here the decision on the individual deported by the United States to South Sudan. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation of the Republic of South Sudan wishes to formally communicate the recent decision by the government regarding an individual deported from the United States who was denied entry at Juba International Airport on April 5th and 6th, 2025. In the spirit of this exercise, friendly relation between the South Sudan and the United States, the government of the Republic of South Sudan has decided to grant it Mr. Makola Kitwa permission to enter to the country. Voila! Now the government of South Sudan now say, okay, after all these citizens are being victimized, they provoke their passport, they prevent of not enter to U.S., their business be provoked. Now it's a very serious thing. Oh, okay. See, things can become a really big problem now. Okay, United States, we will allow this Mr. Makwelo Kitwa to enter to U.S. After what? After you deny and enter all this mess. When you accept in the first beginning, when he arrived on the 5th and the 6th last week, we should not be all of this mess. In the spirit of the exercise, friendly relations between the South Sudan and the United States, the government of the Republic of South Sudan has decided, okay, I already did that. In the light of this decision, the government has instructed the relevant authorities at the Juba International Airport to facilitate Mr. Kitwa arrive as early as tomorrow on the 9th. Tomorrow on the 9th, Mr. This dude right here will make his way to Juba Airport tomorrow. Okay? So Mr. Katitwa Manuel will arrive in Juba Airport tomorrow, April 9th. Okay? In the government of Republic of South Sudan remain committed to facilitate the return of qualified South Sudanese nationals who are scheduled to deportation from the United States. Now, all of this. Now, let me make this clear. Some of South Sudanese who are in South Sudan or in other country, why these South Sudanese are deported, what they did wrong. They don't have a legal document. How do they make it? Why the American government deport these people back? Well, to answer your question or your concern, here is what happening in America to these people. These individuals who are deported back, either these people are having a conflict with law, they were been arrested for many years, maybe they are criminals, they committed a crime here in the US, and also they don't have any legal document to stay in the United States. So they've been behind bars for many years probably. So when Trump administration coming in and he have the migration law, they need to clean up all of these illegal migrants, go back to where they come from. Okay, so these people who are behind bar and they don't have any document to stay in the United States, these people must be deported back to South Sudan. This is what happened. Okay, this is what happened in my state where I am in. When this happened too, like last month, the migration came here, law came here hunting people down. Okay, so this is what's going on here. So those people who don't have, they stay in America illegally, they don't have any legal document to stay in the United States, they have to go back. Those people who don't have document and they commit a crime here in the United States, they have to go back. So I hope all of this I clear to some of you who don't know why the American government doing this. So those 23 or 21 citizens, or two people are not South Sudanese. Those 21 South Sudanese citizens, they either having a conflict with United States law. That's why they're deported back. So that is the one of the things. Now let us listen to more cleaning up.
Wishes to formally communicate the recent decision. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation of the Republic of South Sudan wishes to formally communicate the recent decision by the government regarding an individual deported from the United States who was denied entry at Juba International Airport on April 5th and April 6th of 2025. In the spirit of the existing friendly relations between South Sudan and the United States, the government of the Republic of South Sudan has decided to grant Mr. Makula Kintu permission to enter the country. In light of this decision, the government has instructed
Executive Director of SEPO,
the relevant authorities at Juba International
my reaction to the decision made by U.S. government
Airport to facilitate Mr. Kintu's arrival as early as tomorrow. The government of the Republic of South Sudan remains committed to facilitating the return of verified South Sudanese nationals who are scheduled for deportation from the United States.
Okay, now, so you hear that. So they do a cleaning up. So this guy right here, the guy who is in the center of this, he will arrive in Juba tomorrow. And let me share another video here. So yeah, this is a picture here. So now we have a basketball star who are playing in NBA, okay, in here in the US. And this business will affect their staying here in the US. This guy right here on the screen, he's playing in Duke. And he will be deported because of this provoking of the South Sudan business. He will probably, his name is Kaman Makwach. So he is now in danger of to be deported back unless the government of South Sudan and the government of the United States can work quickly to solve this crisis. Okay, so that is what One more cleaning up. So listen to the South Sudan TV today.
Clear circumstances in a diplomatic engagement following the suspension of U.S. visas for South Sudanese nationals under clear circumstances. The Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Mohammed Ramadan Abdullah Goch, convenes with the U.S. Ambassador Michael J. Hadler to harmonize diplomatic concerns and address the factors behind recent deportations by the United States of non-South Sudanese citizens. The meeting also sought to clarify the criteria used in the deportations and to determine whether any South Sudanese nationals were mistakenly affected. The government of South Sudan is now calling for greater cooperation to ensure proper identification and the fair treatment of its citizens who may be subjected to repatriation.
Okay. Now, those are the cleaning up that are going ahead. Hopefully, United States government embassy in Juba that are now working to fix this problem. One more video.
It happened. I'm concerned with anybody who is deported. I'm concerned with his background, whether he's a criminal or he's a normal person. It happened on Saturday. As a normal norm, I passed through the office of immigration. Then I found staff from the embassy. My car was out. And then when I entered, I got them. They were arguing over a passenger who was deported on Friday and again brought back on Saturday. When I saw the document presented, contrary, there were no identical. They were not equal. The document, the problem document, was written Nemera Garang, just only 2 names, and he's a South Sudanese, born in '67. And the other guy who was given that document, as you have heard from my DG, it's called Makulus, and he was given that document of Garang to be his, which is not lawful. So I told them, this issue is about the capacity of this office. You better call the DG and then consular service from Foreign Affairs to come and look into the matter. This is what happened. Yes, the DG came, I briefed him, and I briefed the Foreign Affairs. Immediately, IGP phoned us. Then we briefed him also. Then it was just a matter of fact. I thought maybe that mistake was done unintended back in USA. I told them, go back, check the biometric of this person, and see whether he's a South Sudanese or he's from Congo. But according to his statement by himself, said he's from Eastern Congo, that is Kivu, Northern Province, and he even mentioned his district. So that was the fact. We are at the airport or in South Sudan, we do cooperate, not with USA alone, even with Australia and Europe. Always we receive the information prior to the arrival of anyone who is deported. And my DAS is in charge. And also, here in South Sudan, the mechanism we have is through when someone is deported, we trace the family, we trace the tribe. Because we don't have detention centers. These are all the mechanism available to see the person, we check him. If he's of bad criminal record, we detain him. As usual, we record his name and we ask him to come every morning to be checked until he proves that he's a normal person. These are normal procedures done by any officer or any police officer over the world.
Okay, so now you heard about him. The guy will arrive tomorrow in Juba, and the government of South Sudan will receive him, and he will from there I don't know if he will be deported. South Sudan will deport him back to Congo, or he will stay in South Sudan. It will be a South Sudan government work there. So now, so while we are on this, so some of you, so Daniel Ring, I don't know. You said that South Sudan need to define all these, call themselves ambassador. Well, that is according. This should be the wake-up call for the South Sudan government, because they put people in the embassies that are not qualified. They don't know. I don't know if they are training or they don't know how to do their work. This is this case is a very embarrassing to the South Sudan government, because they should detect him in Washington D.C. before he makes his way to Dubai airport last week. So that is the reason. I know you guys, some of you in Clubhouse want to come up, turn off the arrays, because let me do this before I bring people up. So now, so we will hear tomorrow. We will see, and we don't know what will be the outcome. What will be the solution for? Will the government of America will restate all this business provocation? How will they look? Because according to Secretary of State Marco Rubio said that they will look into this one. These issues is solved. So how long this will be solved? So that's the question, and we hope days and weeks to come. As for now, South Sudanese passport or visas are not working. If you are on the way waiting, whether you are somewhere in Africa, you are holding a South Sudanese passport and you want to enter the US, you are not allowed. And this will be the lesson to other countries in America that have their nationalities in America. So for that, so America and South Sudan government should work hand in hand. As I'm seeing the press release from the government side, South Sudan side, they need to work closely to solve these issues so that this business provocation will be solved. And then the citizen that travel to US can travel freely to that. And another thing to mention regarding about all these visas, I don't know why is it the US visa to South Sudan costs $150. Any other country costs $50. This is another thing so you guys need to discuss about this crisis, because citizen nation that holding U.S. passport, when they arrive in South Sudan or they want to go, you cannot go to South Sudan without having a visa, paying $150 or $160. But other countries you pay $50. So that means that can tell that the relationship between United States government and South Sudan government are not cooperating very well. And the government of South Sudan need to work his relationship with the United States, because as you know, South Sudanese citizens, majority of South Sudanese citizens are living in the United States. South Sudan government should put this in first place. Even the people who are working within your government, their family are here in the United States. Okay, so you should having a partnership relationship with the U.S. government. Okay. Yeah, both governments are my government. United States, I'm a U.S. citizen, and I am a born citizen of the Republic of South Sudan. And I want both, these are my two homes. And I want to my home have a good relationship. Okay. These two countries, South Sudan without government, U.S. government, okay, we should not have a Republic of South Sudan. Not only that, do you know the current government right now in U.S., Trump administration is Republican? And who keep South Sudan independent, who work in the government during the time, is a Republican government. The former President George W. Bush. He was the president then, and he the one work pushing American the Sudan at the time, the former President Bashir, to sign the CPA, peace agreement. Okay, so those two, the current government in the United States right now is Republican, which give this freedom of the people of South Sudan. That's where we held our independence in 2011. With our U.S. Republican government party, Republican Party, we should not have been a Republic of South Sudan. They work hard so that South Sudan can have their own independence. So American government should not now to hold the citizen of South Sudan hostage by provoking their business. You always stand with the people of South Sudan. Why is it one person who make this mess? You punish the 1,000 or million people of South Sudan citizens. So I'm asking the U.S. government to provide easy decision and work in hand with the government of South Sudan so that you can solve this crisis. Because we, the citizen, are the victim here, not the boss government. We, the citizen. For that, there is a response to one of the civil society in South Sudan, in Muniakani. He responds today regarding about this crisis. Listen to him.
My name is Edmond Yakani, Executive Director of SEPO, a South Sudanese civil society activist. My reaction to the decision made by U.S. government on revoking availability of U.S. visa to any South Sudanese passport holder is disturbing, is disappointing. We are aware that there are tension or misunderstanding between the government of South Sudan and U.S. over matters of deportation of individuals who are South Sudanese from U.S. back home in South Sudan. And in case there was one particular case of an individual who was deported and our government rejected, and the explanation of our government that the nationality of this particular person, though he holds a South Sudanese passport, is questionable because the person voluntarily described himself as a Congolese. We understand that violations of any rules and regulations of any nation like US by itself is undermining the rule of law. We are aware of that, and we hope that the government of South Sudan, the government of US, will handle the case of deportees case by case, rather than having a holistic approach or an inclusive approach of punishing every South Sudanese or restricting every South Sudanese freedom of movement to US. The concerns we have is that US holds a space for international events that range from international financial facilities like World Bank, international institutions that have a lot of forums at the US level, or UN agencies or UN events, and we are aware that the United States hold a hub of international engagement, and South Sudanese are going to be denied in engaging and participating in those spaces, whether being the spaces of UN or spaces of other international financial facilities that will be hosted in US. And we are aware that also there are quite a number of South Sudanese who are seeking knowledge and skills in US, in several US learning institutions. They're going to be affected. And we are aware that the other South Sudanese who have sought asylum in US because of political issues back home, and they're also now at risk. And that's why, as an activist, my appeal to both capitals, Washington, D.C. and Juba, is go to enter to a dialogue and resolve this decision quickly. And my appeal to U.S. administration, that geography made us far from each other, geography distanced us, but humanity connects us. And one of the things that make us feel humanity connects us is the freedom of movement. We are not disputing the application of laws of U.S. There are different standards, but we are appealing to U.S. government that such case must be handled in a manner that you handle it as case by case or as an individual case, rather than really punishing all South Sudanese because of political disagreement between Juba and Washington, D.C. This particular decision tells us that humanity is under attack. This particular decision gives us a feeling that our traditional friends that stood with us have now a leadership that tell us that they no longer care about our friendship. And we hope that this decision will be resolved quickly, because if similar decision is applied to US citizens, I know they would feel the pain, they will feel the difference, and that's why my appeal to the leadership of US that please reverse the decision, handle this particular situation case by case, and I'm appealing to our government that it is a primary responsibility of our government constitutionally to receive every South Sudanese passport holder that is identified in conflict with the law of any member state within the globe community or within the League of Nations. So our government should accept deportees because we have received similar deportees of other countries without any dispute. Why now are we demonstrating a sense of rejecting a deportee from US? And my appeal to Juba and Washington DC, it seems this single case is a very sensitive case that requires you to handle with a sense of responsibility, with a sense of respecting the citizens of both countries, US and South Sudan, to exchange movement as an element of humanity that connects us. So our final call, this decision requires to be reversed, and we're calling Juba and Washington DC enter to a dialogue and handle this particular situation case by case. Thank you very much.
There you have it. For that, I will hear my come back. So let me welcome everybody in Clubhouse. So I will give this chance to the South Sudanese to listen to their reaction regarding about these issues about the business promotion citizen. Let me welcome everybody in Clubhouse. Majong Makur, are you there? Majong, are you available or are you busy? Okay, so if Majong is not there, let me welcome Uncle Gordon. Uncle Gordon, you can go ahead and weigh in what you think about these issues regarding about the business business proposal. So welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Madit and Econ Media for discussing this very hot issue. First of all, there are so many questions that come to mind when you listen to what happened between U.S. and the Republic of South Sudan, in relationship to this deportation. Number one question is why do U.S. have to deport this gentleman to South Sudan and not to another country? There are so many countries in Africa. Why South Sudan? Question number two, where did the name Nimere Garang, where did they find that name? Did they find that name from interviewing the guy, or there is a document with that name? There is a South Sudanese document on the body or on the hand of this Congolese gentleman. So when you ask these two questions, then it will come to mind that this issue is mishandled by the government of South Sudan. To start with. First of all, there is no reason for U.S. to deport just that particular person, to South Sudan, unless there is a document. There is a document that indicates that this guy
he carried a South Sudanese passport. That's why he was deported to South Sudan.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, that is what I suspected. First of all, the government, I don't know what is really happening. how did they rush and deport back or send back the guy? I think those people, whether in the airport or in embassy, if they are really professionals and they know how immigration works and how deportation works, it will be impossible for any government official from foreign affairs to send back somebody with a national document or a passport. Okay? First of all, there is no way that anyone can blame US because US is not there to find out, the person that committed crime or the person that needs to be deported belong to which, tribe, to which region, to which religion. That is not their work. Any country that wants to deport somebody will just follow the document. If you have a passport, whether you are Jesus or you are Shaitan, and your passport indicate that you are from South Sudan, you'll be deported to South Sudan. And it would have been better for the government of South Sudan to accommodate that guy and then find out the legitimacy of the document. هل document ده مزور ولا legitimate؟ هل زول ده جنوبي ولا ما جنوبي؟ That is internal problem of South Sudan. It has nothing to do with US. Okay? If you allow your documents, okay, you was only enough, regardless of their nationality or where they came from, that is your own problem. That is not problem of US. فأنا بشوف إنه المفروض حكومة يمسك زول ده يحبسه and then investigate. If that passport is legitimate passport بتاع جنوب السودان, then they have to find out منو يعودي who released that passport to that guy. لو دولة فعلا فوقه accountability. لكن عشان دولة ما فوق accountability, they rush and send the guy back thinking that it is just a walk in the park. Okay, if you cannot respect your document, your passport, you refuse that Zolder is not my citizen, and that person is carrying your passport, then what do I have to do? No one I US. And put baby after your passport, garbage. If you yourself, who is the government that issued that passport, you are rejecting the person carrying that passport, then why do I have to accept it? Like, logically. فأنا بشوف بأنه US عمل proper step. There is no way that you are distributing your passport to people, and then at the end of the day, if there is an issue, then you say, no, this is not my people. Okay? And international language is document. You have passport, then I will follow your passport. If you say intermin Israel Gamar or intermin Mars, then you are from Mars. Hukuma mishandle a lot of things, and this is one of them. Now they realize that that decision is going to bite. It's going to bite them personally because they have their families here, they have their children studying here on visas. Now the visa is cancelled. Now they start to panic now. Okay? They start to panic, and now they are welcoming the guy back. You just see. You just see. What kind of decision is that? Okay, if you welcome that guy back, do you think that the US is going to say tomorrow, okay, yeah, now you did good, okay, your visas are good? No. Okay, you blew it already. عشان كده these international relationships, you have to be really careful. You have to study things before you make decisions. فهنا, sometimes people, I saw in social media people blaming US and saying all these big things without understanding the consequences. No, جنوب السودان هسه مسك زول وزول يعني عنده باسبورت بتاع امريكا, زول عمل جريمه, deport that person to America, وامريكا قال لا 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 ما تدوري, and then send him back. How are you going to feel? Because how are you going to know? لانه اساسا امريكا is not here to investigate right بتاع زول. Okay? They don't even know what is this tribe or what is this and that. That is not their work. The work of border
Or how
service,
you obtain your document, even to travel around the world.
Yes, the document is what talk, not your shape, well, the color of your eye or color of your skin. You can be a black guy like you now, Madid, and if you carry American passport, people will consider you American. That's it. They will not say, Yaki, this guy look black. Why he is carrying American passport? That is not their job. American gave you their passport. You are Americans, regardless. No interbegit Shaitan, you are American. Fahadi, Assassin, if we want to condemn, let's just condemn Sudan. Why are they allowing our documents? It was all like peanut. And that is going to haunt us. You guys, I think some of you might be young, but those who were already grown up in 80s, Nigerian passport in 80s, in any airport, when you present a Nigerian passport, you will be killed first before even asking you. بيمسكوك يخطوك في يعني حبس ويفتشوا يفتش الشنطة بتاعك يفتش الجسم بتاعك, and then go and investigate the passport and then call to clarify all the parents. Is this passport legitimate? شفت؟ Nigerian عشان تكون الجواز بتاع Nigerian, you are a criminal until proven innocent. And I am afraid the jihad in Sudan very soon, people will run away from it. Because if you carry jihad in Sudan the way it is now, في airport you will be detained for hours to find out whether you are legitimate or not. Government should be really careful. لأنه حاجات ديل يعني you mess it up, then you mess up the whole country for years. لأنه credibility بتاعك عشان ترجع عشان الناس يحترموا الدوكمنت بتاعك, it is not easy. فأنا بشوف إنه they were supposed to receive this guy, investigate this guy, take the document, find out who signed this document, and find out from the guy how did he apply and who helped him. عشان يلقى الباسبورت ده معناه بيكون في زول within the government help this guy and how much did he pay. والليست كل الناس, those who facilitated this guy to obtain this document, they're supposed to go to jail. They're supposed to go to jail and lose their jobs. لكن عشان بلد مفتوح, instead of doing that, قال يا أخي أرجع أمريكا, thinking that would be an easy thing. فبعرف بشوف إنه أمريكا عمل كلام سهل. This is how it is. This is how it is. How are you going to deal with the people who cannot acknowledge their passport? If it is true that that guy is carrying the passport, and I'm sure he's carrying the passport, there is no reason to deport that guy to South Sudan. instead of Uganda or Kenya or anywhere else. فالمهم يعني let government of South Sudan deal with it. But the damage is already done. لأن الموضوع ده bigger في social media, bigger everywhere. يعني اسم بتاع South Sudan يعني passport بتاع South Sudan now is known. You know يعني that country with the passport before that, you know you cannot trust them. ولو كان يستقبلوا زول ده and then investigate, and then if they find out that that guy is not South Sudanese, then you find out how did it get the document. And then if you want to put him in jail, put him in jail. You want to deport him again to Congo, then deport him. Instead of sending him back to US. I think US did the right thing. That is the way that you could do. Thank you.
Thank you, Uncle Gordon. Yes, absolutely. Let me move to next. Mike. Okay, Majuk. Okay, Majuk for the live. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Abraham. Brother, the members on the podium and at the audience. Sorry, Abraham, it's a little bit busy, but I will not take much of the time. The background. Actually, I've listened to most of the speakers, especially the two people who spoke before me. And I've listened to you, Abraham, the time you introduced the topic. This issue of the deportee, which was deported to South Sudan, give us a lot of questions to ask either to our government or to our embassy in the United States of America or to the US government. In summary, it indicates the level of bullying the US has imposed on the government of South Sudan, the way I look at it. The US deportation policy is clear. You cannot be deported to the country that does not belong to you. They take you back to your own motherland. And I thought if US take their own criminals to another country, which does not recognize the person that deported to be there, I don't think the US has audacity to impose that person on that particular country, that you must accept that person. According to the information that we have all read on social media, is that the man gave himself name. And even when you look at the name that he called himself, you could possibly tell this man just coined up the name. You cannot be called Mary Garat. It's impossible. But the guy used those names simply because he wants to come back to the United States. And I will begin with our government. This man got the document within South Sudan with site names. And he used the same document to come to the USA. And that tells you how weak our immigration system is. But this man is not the case only. It becomes the topic of the day simply because it has involved the big fish, like the USA. But South Sudan government, especially the immigration policies, have been commercialized. You will see this guy from Middle East having nationality in South Sudan, and they don't pay much money. They can go like today and establish 2 to 3 businesses, spend 3 months, then they go to the migration officer, pay them $500, and instantly they'll be given passport. There are numerous foreigners that are holding South Sudan passport currently. But what gives us to that comes is because everybody in our government has been dancing to the tune of being compromised with the money. And this is an example. And we should learn from it. And if we don't learn from it, then another dangerous thing is coming ahead of us. Unless our system is cleaned up by those who are holding the immigration office and to receive the directive from the president of our country. Because all these offices or government or status, they don't listen to anybody. Even President Kiir sometimes can give orders and they sabotage them on the grassroots because there is no follow-up and there is no chain of communication. So this man, from the first place, should not be given our documents to come to the U.S. And that is where U.S. stand at the strong ground, telling us that if you say this man does not belong to South Sudan, how did he get the document from the first place? And then I don't know which explanation will our government give. Even after the man testified himself and confessed that he is a Congolese from the eastern part, especially the Kivu region or province, still the U.S. government still believes that maybe South Sudan government is denying their own citizens. I blame our government on that because they are not taking care of the country, but they are taking care of the money. And once you take care of the money, you can endanger the whole country for simple cash, even less than $100,000 US. You can give it to any officer now at the airports, and you can smuggle in anything, whether weapons, nuclear, or any bombs. You can smuggle inside government, inside capital city Juba, or even inside J1, because we are so desperate to have money. If you look at the people that flow into South Sudan at the border of Numili and Kaya, you will wonder. And these people are getting free of charge. They give only $50, sometimes $100. And the officer at the border will appreciate that because it will help him or will help his children without knowing that he has sold out the whole country. The lesson of which our government should learn from this mistake is for them to tighten the rules of processing documents in the migration office. Now they tell you for you to get the passport in Juba. They said there is what they call express and then the normal one. The express you have to pay $200. And even after you pay your $200, they will not give you on time as they claim. The officer that you give that $200 will pocket $100 and put $100 into the system. And that will take like 7 days or even weeks or months for that passport to be produced to you as South Sudanese citizens. And once the foreigner approach them rather, they produce it instantly and give it to them. Which means we are giving a lot of respect and value to the foreigners rather than our own citizens. Government should learn from that. Otherwise, our relation with the U.S. for the recent past has been deteriorating. And we don't know whether it's from the U.S. side or from our government side. Is it the failure of Ministry of Foreign Affairs or is it the failure of the embassy? And that brings me to the embassy. Our embassy, to be honest, for the last 3 years I spent here in the USA, are completely doing nothing. And I will be glad if there is anybody from the embassy in this platform to take this message. If you cannot represent people of South Sudan in the United States of America, then you are doing nothing, completely nothing. If you cannot sell out the policy of the government of South Sudan to the US government, then completely you are sleeping on your job. To be the ambassador of your own country mean a lot. You must act like a president of that country in a foreign land. Sell out the policies. Now the US government does not even appreciate the positive part of our government, simply because we have weak representatives. The only thing US government sees always in a South Sudan government is the negative aspect. And most of you might agree with me or disagree because of our conflict. And anything that happens negatively in our country is always on social media. But the positive aspect, nobody brings it on social media. And that is where US government rely on most. We, the citizen, also, we are feeding the US government with information, very nasty information. In most cases, most of them are lies, but there is 20% truth of that. So the US, the South Sudan embassy in the US should at least upgrade their games and work accordingly in coordination with the government of South Sudan so that we cannot face more embarrassments and bullying like what we have just witnessed. Otherwise, US will continue to bully South Sudan. Why do I say this is bullying? You cannot revoke the visas which were issued legitimately to those who want to visit USA for their own reasons, simply because South Sudan recognized that this man does not belong to us. Then you revoke their visas. Now they say they have to apply again through the US Embassy in Cuba. And that reapplying will require the same amount of money which they paid before. Then who is cheating who here? Is it the US government cheating the government of South Sudan? Or is it being termed as corrupt? Or are they being taken as the fine onto the government of South Sudan? So the diplomatic relations of our country with the US, most of you knows it better, more than I do. Unlike US South Sudan embassy with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs try to rectify. Daniel, can you mute yourself? Daniel? Thank you. Try to rectify this deteriorating relationship between US and South Sudan, because we cannot resist the power of the US government. To the US government, why do I call it bully? We don't know the reason for why this man was deported. And to my knowledge, this was the second deportation. Because the man deported first, he went and forged a different documents and made his way back to the USA. Now this is his second time to be deported. We don't know the reason why the US government deported this man. He might be the most dangerous criminal ever. And US want to dump that criminal in our land, South Sudan. And if our government would have allowed this man to be there for 2 to 3 months, nobody knows what this man can do in that country. Moreover, a country that has actually been laid on the toxic relations of economy and the political tension. This man can do anything to damage the whole country. So we don't know his crimes. But why do US impose the person they deported? Even the culprit himself spoke that I don't belong to this country. I use the documents, I use the coin name. If you look at Nimeri, could possibly be the former president of Sudan, of which most of you know. And if you look at the name Garan, could possibly be the name of a former vice president of Sudan, who is the father of the nation, Dr. John Garan. So this man coined the two names to make his way back to the USA. So the US still insists that this man must be accepted by the government of South Sudan. Where on earth, even if you know you are a big boy, you cannot bully young boys simply because young boys speak his right. Our government is on the right side this time around. Although the mistakes initially started from our side, why we give foreigners documents and unknowingly without thorough investigation, or doing fingerprint and all that, or biometric to know exactly the number of people that we have in the country. Otherwise, it was not good. Internationally, it was bad, and the US was so quick to revoke the visas of South Sudanese who were supposed to come, or those who want to do some other business with the US. So it was not good completely, because US was so quick in their decision. And that tells you Donald Trump government is not a joke government. This man is on his different mission. And if world does not watch out very carefully, then there are possibilities of third world war. And if we miss third world war, then we will not miss world economy recession, which is almost looming. It might happen anytime, but they don't want to announce it. And the person who did all this is the rival of Donald J. Trump. Within less than 3 months in the office, you have seen the world disorder that has just happened. But it will continue to happen unless our country and our government try as much as possible to do right things and always be on the right side. No matter how strong US is, and we are on the right side, they cannot do anything to us. Thank you so much. I will rest my case here, and I stand to be corrected. Be blessed.
Thank you, Majok. Let us move to the next one, Mike. Mike, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, welcome.
Is my voice clear, please?
Yeah, your voice is clear. Okay, for those of you in watching in YouTube and Facebook and apps, please, I will close down the studio. You can join us in Clubhouse for more discussion. So thank you for watching. See you guys next time. Thank you. Have a good night. Bye now.